Okay, hello YouTube, how you doing? This is David, if you're new to my channel, and today is Saturday, February 22nd, 2026, and today's topic, oh, I'm gonna switch hands already. Today's topic is, if I could do everything over again in life, what would I do? Well, for one thing, I wouldn't have gone to Vietnam. That's for sure. And if I had gone to Vietnam, I was wishing or hoping I didn't get on Hamburger Hill like I did. So what I should have done when I got out of high school, I should have went to college. Although they didn't have any deferments anymore. And the next year they were doing the draft. So I might have got drafted anyway out of college, but at least I probably would have been better off, obviously, than what I was. So that's one thing that I would have done better at. And then I would have really tried my best to pick out a vocation that I wanted to do in life. My biggest problem in life was I never knew what I wanted to do. I always had dead-end, low-end jobs. I was a manager a couple times of a shoe store, Kenny Shoes. I don't even think they exist anymore. That was back in the 70s. That might have been okay if I would have tried to be a district manager or something, but I never had the intestinal fortitude to be anything. That was always my problem. I remember talking to my mom one time, asking her when she was in her 70s, I think, and she said basically that was her problem in life, that she never knew what she wanted to do. She was a travel agent and she traveled all over the world. So that's one thing her and I have in common, is we travel a lot, so that's good. But as far as what I should have been doing for 20, 30, or 40 years, I must have had 10 or 15 different jobs. I think I got laid off. I got laid off once or twice, and I got canned once. And that was my fault. I went to a girl's apartment in the afternoon and we were drinking beer, and I had to go to work that night. Even though I didn't have that much. And she said, oh, just eat a bunch of popcorn, they won't smell it. So dumb me, I did eat a bunch of popcorn, and all the customers smelled it. So officially I wasn't fired, but when the roster came out, I wasn't on it. So that was into those days. And that was a dead-end job, working at a mall and a clothing store. Chess King, I think was the name of that. Who knows what happened to that place? I don't think they're anywhere near in business anymore. They could be, but I don't think so. So that was a dead-end job. I like photography and I like computers. So I really wish I would have got a job as a photographer somewhere. And obviously would try to get up to work for National Geographics. That's where all the best photographers were at. And they traveled all over the world, had a lot of different assignments. I was always single, so traveling all over the world would have been good for me. I didn't really have anybody tying me down, so that would have been good. I guess because of my PTSD, I just wasn't very good at marriage. I was married twice. The first one got an annulment after 6 months. She was an exotic dancer. I owned a strip club at the time. I was fronting for somebody, so I was on the license because I was young and didn't have any prior. So I was on the license of this club, and that's where I met her. And she was an exotic stripper, and I was renting a house in Riverside at the time, 3-bedroom house. And the girls that I got from the agency to strip on stage came from came from downtown Los Angeles, that area. So since I had 3 rooms, 3 bedrooms, I slept in one obviously. And I let the girls sleep in one of the other 2 rooms. And there's no hanky-panky, you know, and they were really appreciated. I came home one afternoon, one girl was mowing my lawn. We all ate at different times, so nobody had to cook or anything. But I was really good at it. I didn't mess with the girls at all. They had rooms and I didn't charge them rent or anything, because basically I was paying them to go to the strip club. So that was one endeavor. Of course, my dad and my brother-in-law didn't like that. That was back in the middle 70s. So things were a little bit different back then, I guess. So that didn't last very long. I got out of that. Now I bounced back and forth between working in shoe stores and working in finance companies. Mellon Financial, they're out of business. Worked for Summer and Kaufman shoe store, they're out of business. Worked for Security Pacific in the bank, they're out of business. Worked for Household Finance, they're out of business. Worked for Summer and Kaufman, a shoe store, I think I mentioned that, they're out of business. Kenny's is out of business. So I never was anywhere long enough to get a pension. So I would have changed that if I could, because if it wasn't for my PTSD money that I get now, I would really be up a creek without a paddle, as they say. Also I'm wearing a maroon shirt. This is maroon, not red. And the reason is that my grandson goes to a junior college, and their colors are maroon and black, I believe. Well, I know it's maroon. I'm not sure if the other color is black. So that's why I'm wearing a maroon shirt, and it's not a red shirt. So just wanted to throw that out there. So to get back to the topic, I would have wanted to have been a photographer if it wasn't National Geographic. Maybe it was print media or something that had to do with cameras. Although I'm not that creative, so posing people to take pictures might have been a problem. But if I did wildlife or if I did landscapes or something like that, obviously you don't have a mountain to pose for. So I think that would have worked out if I could have done that. But I just never had the desire. It never hit me. When I was growing up, it was all so blasé all my life with all the jobs that I had. So being 76, I can look back on it and I hope that I can advise my grandson not be making all the mistakes that I'm making. He's taking aeronautical welding at the college that he's going to, because it's up in Palmdale, Lancaster area where there's a lot of aviation up there. A lot of skunk, there's a skunk works there that works on a lot of top secret stuff. So I think he's got it made if he does that. I've been helping him out financially to buy his welding equipment because he's on a Pell Grant. So with a Pell Grant, you don't pay anything. You don't have to pay anything back. So he's on a Pell Grant. So I try to help him and try to advise him. I have 2 sons. Well, one son, he has his own company. Last I checked, he had like 7 employees. He sells ammunition. I don't think he sells guns, but he sells ammunition on a subscription basis to where you pay monthly and they send you the ammunition monthly on that. I guess it's for people for target practice, stuff like that. And he's never asked me for any any advice or anything. That's when I told you I haven't talked to him in 18 years. He's doing really good. He doesn't need me for anything, so. And then the other thing is I wish I would have stayed married longer, but with my PTSD, it couldn't work out. It was too much of a hassle with everybody. If I didn't have that, I think I would have stayed married for a longer period of time. My wife, I got married in 77, divorced in 80, so I was only with her 3 years. But we lived in the same town. I had my boys every Sunday till they were 18. And then my wife, in 99, she died of she had a brain tumor. in the back of her head. And so she died in '99. And I didn't go to the funeral. Her father, who I don't think liked me very much, he told me basically in a roundabout way, well, you don't have to come. That's okay, don't come. Well, I found out I should have went for my kids, but I didn't. I was oblivious. Everything just went right over the top of my head for some reason. Because they said none of her husbands came and it was just them. That was so stupid. That was in '99, this is 26, so 26 years ago. I've never gotten over that. Never gotten over how I messed all that up, and I never will, I guess. I'll take that to the end, that I should have went, but I didn't. So, I know I'm kind of rambling, but rambling's good in a way. If you have everything in a prepared note, it's like giving a speech. I never was good at giving speeches, so I try to wing it and try to just take some of the stuff off the top of my head. So this video is going to be late. I try to do Tuesdays and Fridays, but all this week it's been nothing but rain. Weather was really bad, so I couldn't get out or anything. Now there's not a cloud in the sky, basically, but it's Saturday, so I'll see if I can get back on Tuesday and Friday routine. I got a VA appointment on Wednesday for some more dental work. I'm doing 2 implants, and the VA is obviously paying for all that, so I got to take care of that. So I think I'll wrap it up for this video. I don't think I settled anything other than I wish my life was completely different than the way it turned out, except for my 2 boys. I'm glad I had them, because without them I wouldn't have my grandson. Even though we don't get along or anything, I'm still glad that I had them. I wish I would have been more helpful as they were growing up. My one son is always in and out of jail. He has a substance abuse problem and a few other problems, and I think it's my fault because he didn't take the divorce very well. My other son did. So my one younger son, I always feel bad whenever he gets in trouble. I blame myself. I don't know if I should, but I do, so just wanted to throw that out there. Don't know what the next video will be about. We'll probably be back over here at the park because it has good foliage. As you can see, there's a lot of good things in the background here to see, so we'll come back out here for that one. That'll be on, I'm gonna try on Tuesday because I'll be going on Wednesday. So thanks for listening, and I hope everybody has a great time, a great day, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead. And again, my name is David, and the title of this is Just Chatting, and the topic was, if I could have done something different in my life, I would have. A lot of things. Some people say, oh no, they wouldn't have done anything, or they would have changed 1 or 2 things. I would have changed everything, except for my kids. So I would have changed 100 things and kept 2, I guess. So I'll go ahead and sign off. So that's it for today, and catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.